A beautiful campus with rolling fields, meadows, and woods. Elegant buildings that speak of an earlier time and a rich history. Returning to campus after all these years, so many emotions rise to the surface. This is where we were students, read books, ate with teachers and friends, learned about ourselves, about life, and so much more. And with more of life lived, we return the same but different. And although we went to the same school, our memories may be decidedly unique.
This school was founded in 1911 by a woman whose vision was bold and courageous and unique.
I remember it vividly, coming around the curve on Bushy Hill Road, seeing the school. It looked so beautiful.
A blur. I remember arriving by bus.
So it was kind of a weird thing, you know, oh, you're going to boarding school? What's that like?
It just looked kind of enchanted.
I loved the country aspect of it, and I loved the front of Beaver Brook with beautiful trees and lots of grass.
My mom had gone to Ethel Walker, and now I was gonna be able to have my own experiences in a place that I knew she loved so much.
It was a wonderful oasis for me.
We were able to really feel as if Ethel Walker's was a haven.
The Ethel Walker School is not just an institution, but a spirit and a philosophy that animate everyone who comes here. A spirit that brings life and purpose to the relationships that begin here and which do not end when the final walk is walked.
My first experience really was meeting my best friend for life.
I had some wonderful roommates and suite mates my first year, and they made the difference. There were 4 in a room. We lived together, we ate together, we played together, we learned together, sports and field trips, you know, and you do that for 4 years with anybody, and you're bound to come up with a pretty solid friendship.
When I'm having a really, really tough week, and it's between like a lot of games and a lot of tests and a lot of projects, having friends makes it so much easier to get through it.
We started talking, and like she started telling me about her culture, and I started talking about my culture, and like we became really good friends.
I think the friendships at Ethel Walker's are really quite magical. There's something in the air, there's something about the school that is very unique.
The administration and the faculty care so much about the girls that I think we start to learn to care for each other in the same fashion.
If I needed them, they'd be with me. If they called me, I would be with them.
Ethel Walker's, graduates all have that. And it's not just unique to my class, who obviously I'm, so close to, but it's unique to every alum. And every decade.
That is by design. Ethel Walker herself wanted us to be a community where teachers and students learned about each other, learned to live with each other, and learned from each other.
The connections we made with friends long ago still exist in our hearts and minds. They can be rekindled with a single memory.
When Debbie, Mackenzie, and I get together, we laugh so hard that we cry. And we both look at one another and say, wasn't that good?
Inside each one of us, there's a special place for teachers. Those gifted women and men who opened up our minds and ignited our potential.
I had Miss Tregillis in math class. She was one tough cookie. That woman's brain was mathematical. She would write on the board with both hands at the same time.
The classroom was scary but exciting. A lot was expected of us.
When you step into a classroom, it's not, oh, it's time for school, I really hate this class. It's like, oh my gosh, where's my teacher? I can't wait to see her.
It matters very much to me that I can reach each student. I take that on as some sort of a mission. I'm keenly aware, however, all the time of the power that I have as a teacher.
I had a teacher by the name of Miss Hunt, who I can see today. And she was very exacting about how you wrote to communicate what you thought. I've been told I can write today, I can't write a novel, but it's all because of Miss Hunt. It's not because of Vassar College.
I went on to Stanford and Brown, and I had terrific professors, but not the level of intimacy and classroom interaction that I had at Walker's.
In my experience, Walker's girls rise to the challenges. If you put your expectations very high, with help and support, they'll get there.
these teachers would give their life for these students, and they do. And they are not afraid to be human beings with these students.
I think that if the students know that you're open to their lives, not just the course that you teach, then they will respond by seeking you out, asking you questions about all kinds of issues that they're wrestling with.
Why do some teachers have such an extraordinary impact? It's impossible to know. All we can be sure of is they were doing a lot more than just their jobs. They were shaping the women who would go out to shape the world. The world has come to understand what walkers always knew, that when young women train and compete, something amazing happens. Skills emerge, intensity and passion, and the desire to win. And we learned that being part of a team made us strong and whole.
1, 2, 3, 4. My coach is Mr. Monaghan. He's quite the character.
You know, the role of coach and teacher is one that I think really, they blend together almost. When I'm out here on the playing field, when we're at practice, when I'm on the basketball court with my girls, you know, my job is to teach them the game and to not only teach them the skills that will help them to win games, but to teach them the life skills that you know, you learn through sports and that I feel help you become a better person.
I think it was more the kids than me. Yeah, I had a little bit of knowledge about the game of baseball, but these kids absorbed it and they just wanted to be winners.
He taught us how to make the moves and make the plays, play fair, play hard, and win.
And so you start to see girls in an environment where they really give their all outside of academics. We have to recognize that, we have to nurture that, we have to respond to that. And it helps create a healthy, balanced life for these girls as they become young women and contribute to society.
The riding was a wonderful escape from the pressures of school and working and studying.
He didn't teach us not to be women, but to be competitive women.
It was really important that you were on the playing field, not just with your friends, but with someone who cared about you and encouraged you. And that person could have been your dorm parent, and that person could have been a teacher. So you really had tremendous access and relationship with so many faculty and so many different coaches that really made a difference in your life.
Well, and you showed us that you were proud of us. So when we did well, he made it clear that he was proud.
Often the most meaningful connections happen when we get to know people who are different from us. People with diverse backgrounds who suddenly come into our lives, and for the first time, we see the world differently.
Buenos días, Fatima. ¿Qué tal?
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, gracias.
We have students with different faith traditions, different opinions, different cultures. We model for students how we can all live together in harmony.
The diversity that we have here in this community is so beautiful, and I think we're so lucky to have something like this.
I think Walkers wants to continue to prepare girls for the real world, because the world's diverse.
Diversity is a celebration of the richness of human life, and at Walkers, students experience this every day.
My friendships, my love of learning, things that I carry with me to this day that are important to me, really all trace back to Walkers.
Walkers women carry in common a deep commitment to making a difference in their communities and the world.
We have incredible alums. We have alums who are, you know, head of departments at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I have a wonderful classmate who's an OBGYN and brings new life into the world.
So, we've looked at the trajectory of our lives. It began long ago on this campus, and it is still in motion.
The foundations I came away with from Walkers have held me in tremendous stead.
It was the years we spent here that gave us the courage to believe in ourselves.
It gave you that foundation, an inspiration to want to continue on and to do well and to be confident in it.
It was the expansion of our minds that showed us all we could be.
The girls are just so bright and smart and articulate and dynamic. It just makes you very happy to be a Walkers graduate.
It was the growth of our souls that taught us how much we could feel.
It's a certain warmth, it's a certain sense of love, like a family.
And it was the laughter we shared that reminded us how free and fortunate we truly are. And in the years that stretch before us, graduating classes of the future will walk their own walk and discover for themselves what women can accomplish when they join their hearts, their minds, and their voices to improve the world. Here's to the next century of Walker's women.